Not everyone in this world is the same. Some will love you, respect you, and stand by your side. But others, they wait for the perfect moment to insult you, provoke you, hurt you with their words, sometimes to your face, sometimes behind your back. They think they've won. But do you know what the Stoics say? True victory isn't in fighting back. It's in mastering yourself. Yes, reacting with anger is easy. But the Stoics teach us, he who controls himself is stronger than he who conquers cities. Today, I'll share with you 6 verbal techniques, simple but powerful words that don't just silence aggressive people, they make them reflect, regret, and often, change. And most importantly, they help you rise, calm, wise, and unshaken, like a true Stoic warrior. Every line in this video is a weapon of wisdom. So don't miss a second. And if you're on a journey to become mentally stronger, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit like. Now, let's begin the journey into these 6 powerful phrases. Number 1. You're not okay today, are you? A sentence that can silence an aggressive person. When someone speaks to you with arrogance, yells at you, or attacks you with anger, what do you usually do? Do you stay silent? Or do you react with more anger? But imagine if you calmly said just one sentence. You're not okay today, are you? This question alone can break down even the most aggressive person. Why? Because it's not an attack, it's a mirror. A mirror that touches a wounded part deep inside them. Think about it, if someone is always angry, always hurting others, is that strength? No. That is pain disguised as power. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, anger is a form of temporary madness. And that madness begins to dissolve when someone looks them in the eye and calmly says, "You're not okay today, are you?" This question carries 3 silent powers. 1. You didn't react, you observed. 2. You didn't judge. You empathized. 3. You didn't lose your ground, you rose above the chaos. Here's a question, who's truly stronger? The one who screams? Or the one who whispers and hits the heart? The Stoics taught us, the more we value peace of mind, the less we'll be disturbed by noise. Often, an angry person is secretly hoping someone will stop them. But you don't need to shout to stop them. You just need to ask the right question. And this one sentence, "You're not okay today, are you?" can reach a place inside them that even they've been ignoring. It's not just a sentence, it's a mirror. And sometimes, that reflection is powerful enough to bring silence, even regret. That's how you win, not by fighting back, but by standing still in your strength. So remember, true strength isn't about defeating others. It's about mastering yourself. Number 2. I'm trying to understand your situation. A sentence that disarms aggression and awakens the human inside. When someone lashes out at you in anger, throws harsh words, maybe even insults, what do you do? Do you match their fire with fire? Or do you take a pause, and calmly say, "I'm trying to understand your situation"? It may sound simple, but this sentence has a disarming power. An angry person suddenly goes quiet. Their voice softens. Why? Because you didn't treat them as an enemy. You positioned yourself as a listener. And when you choose to listen instead of fight, you shift the dynamic completely. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." That's not just advice, it's strategy. When you choose to listen, your silence becomes a sword that cuts through chaos. Ask yourself, why do people get angry in the first place? Because deep down, they feel unheard. Because no one ever tries to understand them. But when you say, "I'm trying to understand," you offer something rare, compassion. Here's a question, if no one tries to understand, how will peace ever begin? Your one sentence may be the first drop of empathy they've received in a long time. And that changes everything. Most anger is not personal. It's built from years of rejection, pain, and frustration. When you don't fight back, but instead respond with humanity, you become something else. Not a victim. Not a fighter. But a quiet warrior with deep control. The Stoics remind us. He who is not angry is not weak, he is wise. So when you say, "I'm trying to understand your situation," you put your ego aside and step forward with maturity. And in that moment, you're no longer ordinary. You are powerful in the most unexpected way. In the end, sometimes, the greatest resistance is a sentence filled with empathy. So next time someone comes at you with anger, try this. Say it slowly, sincerely. "I'm trying to understand your situation." And watch how their rage begins to fall apart. Number 3. If you were in my place, what would you do? A question that stops anger and awakens the conscience. When someone gets angry, shouting, blaming, throwing harsh words, they speak only from their own point of view. They think, "I'm in pain, so I have the right to be angry." But what happens when you pause, look them in the eye, and calmly ask, "If you were in my place, what would you do?" Suddenly, they go silent. This question pulls them out of their emotions and places them into yours. It forces them to see your side, your struggle, your pain, your quiet endurance. The Stoics say, empathy is the mirror of the soul. When you ask this question, you hold up that mirror. And in that reflection, the angry person begins to see not just themselves, but you, the one they've been hurting. It's just one question. But it carries a silent challenge. Could you have stayed this calm if you were me? Could you have endured all this in silence? Would you have responded with the same patience? Here's a deeper question. When we get angry, do we ever imagine being in the other person's shoes? Often, we magnify our own pain but ignore the weight others are carrying. That's why this single line, "If you were in my place, what would you do?" It breaks their anger with the power of perspective. It's not a counterattack. It's not sarcasm. It's an invitation to awareness. And that changes everything. Because now, their focus shifts from blaming to understanding. And in that moment, their anger begins to crumble, not because you fought back, but because you made them think. This question holds within it your strength, your self-control, your quiet discipline. And when you ask it, you are not just a calm person. You are a stoic warrior, fighting with balance and wisdom. In the end, remember. Sometimes, the greatest resistance to anger is a well-timed question. So the next time someone throws rage at you, stay still and ask, "If you were in my place, what would you do?" Watch how fast their tone changes. Because in that moment, they finally see you. Number 4. There's always a story behind anger. Why don't you tell me yours? A sentence that silences rage and gives pain a voice. When someone gets angry, raises their voice, insults you, tries to hurt you, our first instinct is to fight back or walk away. But let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered, why are they really angry? What pressure are they under? What pain are they hiding? Is there a story behind their anger? The most courageous thing you can do is look them in the eye and say, "There's always a story behind anger. Why don't you tell me yours?" This line isn't just a question, it's an invitation. It tells the other person, I see more than just your rage. I want to understand your pain. And that, right there, breaks the cycle of aggression. Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Anger often comes from a mistaken perception, of being wronged, misunderstood, unloved. But when you invite someone to explore the story behind their anger, you help them shift from reaction to reflection. Because let's be honest, most people who explode in rage are really just carrying silent wounds. And sometimes, all it takes is one calm voice to say, "Tell me your story." Here's a question, will you judge someone by their anger, or will you try to hear the pain beneath it? When you say, "There's always a story behind anger," you're not standing against them. You're standing beside them. That one sentence tells an angry person, "You are not alone. I'm willing to listen." And that is more powerful than any argument. Because once anger finds words, the war within begins to quiet down. So next time someone comes at you in rage, don't fight the fire with fire. Offer your ears instead of your ego. Look at them and say, "There's always a story behind anger. Why don't you tell me yours?" It won't just make them pause. It may lead them to healing. And that is true victory. Number 5. I'm hurt, but I don't hate you. A line that doesn't seek revenge, it declares self-respect. Angry people often believe that if they hurt someone, that person will retaliate. They expect a reaction, a fight. But when you look them calmly in the eye and say, "I'm hurt, but I don't hate you," their entire world pauses. This one sentence doesn't strike the ego, it strikes the soul. Because it's not revenge. It's forgiveness. And it's not weakness, it's a profound display of self-control. The Stoics said, forgiveness is not about setting them free. It's about setting yourself free. When you choose not to hate, you don't defeat the other person. You rise above the situation. This line means, you hurt me, but I won't poison my heart with hatred. I'll remain calm, because my peace is greater than your anger. Now here's a question. Is forgiveness weakness? No. Forgiveness is a silent strength that says, I'm not like you. I'm something more. And that silence hits harder than any scream. Because the angry person starts to wonder. I hurt them, and they didn't hate me. That realization shakes them from the inside. You don't defeat them, you illuminate them. And when that happens, they often go quiet. Because your one line outweighs their 1,000 outbursts. Remember, real power is the ability to remain composed. And the greatest victory is walking past someone without carrying hate. So next time someone hurts you, don't lower your head. Look them in the eye, and say with calm strength, I'm hurt, but I don't hate you. Say it slowly. Say it clearly. And watch how a storm turns into silence. Because sometimes, it only takes one line to end a war. Number 6. You're strong, but how strong are you when it comes to controlling your anger? A question that doesn't challenge the ego, it shatters the illusion. Some people walk around declaring their strength. In their voice, in their posture, in their words. They want you to know, I'm powerful. I'm fearless. But ask them this one simple question. You're strong, but how strong are you when it comes to controlling your anger? It doesn't sound aggressive. It's not an insult. It's a mirror. And that mirror doesn't reflect muscles, it reflects self-mastery. The Stoics said, if you cannot conquer yourself, you will conquer nothing. Because exploding in anger isn't power. Controlling it, that's where true strength lives. When you ask this question, you're not attacking their authority. You're inviting them to look within. And when they do, they may ask themselves, am I truly strong, or do I just yell louder than others? Let's be honest. Anger isn't power. It's weakness dressed up in volume. And if someone can't even control their own emotions, how can they claim to control anything else? Here's the real question. Who's stronger, the one who breaks things in rage? Or the one who holds back, breathes deeply, and stays grounded? This one line. You're strong, but how strong are you when it comes to controlling your anger? It cuts through the noise. It doesn't attack their identity. It awakens their conscience. Because in that moment, they realize, you're not fighting them. You're holding up a mirror to their truest opponent. their own lack of control. This is not a war of words. It's a quiet confrontation between ego and truth. And you, by staying calm and asking the right question, are not just a bystander. You are the stronger one. Because true power isn't in how hard you hit back. It's in how deeply you understand yourself. So the next time someone tries to overpower you with anger, don't shout. Don't fight. Just ask. You're strong, but how strong are you when it comes to controlling your anger? Watch their voice shake. Because you've just reminded them. Real strength starts within. Conclusion. A true Stoic warrior doesn't fight with rage, he fights with restraint. His weapon isn't a sword, it's words. His power isn't in shouting, but in calm confidence. When someone tries to hurt you, these 6 phrases become your shield. Because when you master your emotions, no one can break you. The Stoics said, the greatest revenge is to live a life of virtue and peace. Your character becomes the mirror in which even the most aggressive person must one day face their own reflection. So, if this video sparks something within you, subscribe to our channel, share it with someone who needs it. And hit the like button to let the world know, you are a warrior within. Stay grounded. Because silent strength creates the loudest change.